Hey everybody, I got a piece of Ronnie Miller's Flint Ridge here, little biface, and I'm going to try and make something out of it. I've only ever worked one other piece of Flint Ridge before, so we're going to see what we can do with it, if we can do anything with it. But beautiful material. We're going to get into this and see what we can do. We've got a platform here that could run, it's probably only going to run a short flake into there. Then we got another platform here. It's well above center with a ridge that runs across here. So we got another one coming across here. So we got some platforms. It's going to be a short flake though. Let's see. Oh, that was not a short flake. That went all the way over to here. I was surprised it traveled that far. So this stuff is flaking extremely easy. So we got platform running here, and then there's one on the other side right here. If we knock this one off first, it's going to run across here, maybe clean some of this up, and that'll raise this edge up, allow us to come back across on this one. So let's try that, see if it works. It ran across right there, cleaned a bunch of that up, and now our platform's a little bit high right there. We actually got a little one coming across right here, which we could hit it and that'll bring this up even higher. So maybe we'll try that. I'm just hitting platforms that are opportunistic. I crushed it. I crushed it and then went back for a second hit, and I shouldn't have done that. Because once it crushes, it's crushed and it needs to be reground. I can sure enough tell that I have to go pretty light on this. This platform's hanging down right here. Right here. I believe that's low enough, and then we can run it across. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but our phone just shut off. So I'm going to have to attach that first piece to this second piece. Hopefully it don't happen again. Really messed up my mojo. But okay. Not sure why that did that. I was uploading a video at the same time I was filming this, so maybe that was the problem. I got a low platform here. I'm going to try and take something across right here. And it did. It went all the way across right here, and it actually went all the way to the other side. And it left me with something I can hit right here. It's a little ridge right here. Let's hit that. And traveled all the way across there. This is just amazing material. Pretty stuff, heat treated to perfection. And just really clean material. Okay, I gotta take a little short flake in there. Got a little bit of a square edge happening right there. So I adjusted that by taking that side there and there, and I kind of isolated this to take a short flake in right here. came in and it took all that off. It's got a little goofy spot right here, and I'd like to clean that up a bit. Yeah, it's got a crack going in there, is what it's got. Now, I'm not sure that I installed that crack or if it was already there, but it definitely has a crack in it, which is probably in the end going to affect what we end up with. It already did, because we lost this whole corner off here. Flakes are running all the way across there. We're just going to keep thinning from the sides, trying to save as much length as possible. I wish we wouldn't have lost that corner off there, but we did. And we may lose more of it because that crack's still going in there, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. So if this is our base, we either got to shorten it to widen it or narrow this whole thing down some. Not sure what I'm going to make out of this, especially now that I lost so much of that base. Yeah, let's see here. Debating on whether or not I need to do some indirect, or not being familiar with the material. Ronnie sent me a bunch of bifaces, so by the time I get done with the box and I'm ready for another one, I'll have the material figured out. Kind of a slow learner. We still got quite a bit of thickness to get rid of. I mean, it's coming off there, but come on. Direct percussion seems to be doing pretty good at the moment. Okay. Trying to take it easy with this. I don't really want to ruin a bunch of this material trying to learn it, but the only way to learn it is to get into it. Seems like if you worry too much about it, then I think I am going to do some indirect. See how we can do with that. Let's see. We'll go with the small indirect stick, 3/8 diameter copper, and I'm going to try and go real easy. Because it does flake extremely easy. I don't want to blow it all up. And I don't want to get those in there either. Don't want to be getting a bunch of hinges. And that hinge happened probably because I was afraid to hit it hard enough, and it that ought to run a flake up there. I'm not sure why it didn't. Okay. Gonna have to get used to how hard to hit it without snapping it. Alright. This side don't look too terrible. There's pressure. Ow! Underneath my fingernail. Don't mind getting cut, but that underneath fingernail thing hurts. Whew. That one might have been a little bit hard. Took a bite out of it. Doggone it. That was probably just having my tool too far up on the edge. I think I can clean a bunch of that up. With pressure. Man, oh man, getting a little bitey out of that. Bitey, is that a word? Probably not. This side's kind of ugly. So I made a little bit of a mess of it with the knocking everything off here. Now let's go through and rigorize the edge, and if we can get a couple cleanup flakes. It's pretty doggone thin already. Probably got a little too thin, a little too fast, but we'll see. Let's see, maybe we can need to move you out there just a little bit, and then maybe we can zoom in here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's still recording now, so apparently when I was uploading the video, that was taking a lot of memory, and I think I ran out of memory. As I upload these, I delete them out of my phone, trying to save some of the memory. It's already making it look a little better. Obviously that's going to be the B side, but I may end up with two B sides, who knows. I do that still sometimes. Well, more than sometimes. Yeah, that's running some flakes in there. I'm afraid I'll start running some cleanup flakes in there, and I'm just going to hinge it out again. That isn't terrible. Run a flake in right here, that would be good. I keep forgetting that I got that zoomed in, so we'll run a flake across right this stupid thing zipping and zapping out. Try and keep it down here. The thing keeps trying to switch from lens to lens, I think, but we're going to try and run a flake right in here. I might run one right in here also. We're going to try those two flakes, I think. With indirect. So let me zoom you back out here. It's hot. I'm sweaty. My indirect stick keeps slipping out. Wasn't one that I had planned, but all right. Well, it ran across there and got rid of that hump. I like to run one across right here, just a little one, just to clean some of that up a little bit. And it did. good. It cleaned it up. So most of the rest of that's probably going to clean up with pressure. Yeah, the majority of the rest of it I should be able to clean up with pressure. All right. So what are we gonna make? There's the big question. It's got kind of a cool shape to it. Small base down here and widening out. So still learning points, styles and stuff. Not all that great at making specific point styles, but I try. A big old leaf shaped blade like that with some notches coming in like this. I don't know. Let's zoom out just a little bit more and grab my book and kind of see what options we got here. Kind of flip through here, maybe with something to catch my eye. Let me look through here and then I'll come back to you guys in just a second after I figure out something. Okay, so I didn't see a whole lot that's real good for this shape that I got. I mean, there's a few, but I think we're probably just gonna do, it's Flint Ridge, let's do a dovetail of sorts, or try to anyways. Some of these dovetails you can see on this one here, it you know, it kind of rounds it around there, so it's, we won't be too far off from that. And they kind of, like this one here is retracting at the base here, coming in on the sides, and it looked pretty good as a dovetail. I'll take that dovetail in right there and right there. We're gonna shoot for that and just see what happens. We'll just make a little dovetail. There's so many variations in dovetails. I mean, from little bitty buttons to a lot of variation in blade shape. I mean, you get the dovetail base, and then as far as blade shape, I mean, you got a drill here, you know, with a dovetail base, and so blades are really vary a lot in shape. So we're just gonna try and make a dovetail out of this. That's what we'll do. All right. So most of what we have left here is going to be pressure. I would like to run a flake across right here, but I'm not sure that it won't just step. So let's see if we can might be able to run a flake in that direction right there. Let's try that. Might be better with indirect, or zoom you in a little bit. Could try and come across right there. It's a long ways to travel. But it might do it. The ridge is right. It doesn't stall out and stop on this stuff right here. It might go across there. Let's give it a try. Could snap it in half too. Nope. That went across and took out a big chunk of it. But unfortunately, it went all the way across there. It didn't take out all of it. There we go. We got rid of it that time. So, took a little bitty bite out of the edge, but it's alright. We got rid of that bad spot. So, let's do some pressure. Thin the edge a little bit, and then we're probably gonna crunch it. Scrunch it. Crunch and scrunch. Alright, looking at this piece of mookaite here. Before you guys see this video, you'll probably see one with the crunchy overheated mookaite, and this is another piece of it. And this will be coming up in an upcoming video also. I got so much stone that I want to work, and I only got so much time. Which today turned into more napping than I intended on, but I had to go to town, and I took my wife's Jeep to town, and ran into another Jeep owner at Tractor Supply, and got to talking and looking at all the, well, he had that thing decked out, and got to looking at all his accessories and stuff, and probably sit there in the parking lot and talk to him for an hour and a half. So that kind of goofed up my day a little bit, but that's all right. Always good to meet someone new. And he was interested in the leather stuff, and so I give him a card, and he's wanting me to make him a buffalo rifle sling for his 4570 Henry. So I make a lot of those for those Henrys. Woo, she's looking pretty, except for a couple fingernail things. I mean, it's not perfect flaking, but it is big percussion flaking, you know. Some of these flakes running all the way across there. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I'm going to get her straightened out here. Let's see if that'll scrunch. Turn that edge up this direction a little bit and kind of straighten everything out. Just really, when you're scrunching it, it really just gives you a really nice straight edge. Of course, you lose some size, but I struggle so much with symmetry that I mean, that scrunching tool lifesaver for me. Alright, let's pick around. I was probably out of frame for some of that. I sometimes forget I was. Got it zoomed in real tight. That one flake wasn't that hard to push off. I was looking in the viewfinder to make sure I was on there. Nothing about this stuff is hard to flake. I mean, it just sends flakes like crazy. But I'd have to think, although I haven't hardly worked any Flint Ridge, I've only done 1 point up to now. I've watched a lot of videos and talked to a lot of guys, and they talk about all the layers in the material and quartz crystals, and I didn't really see any of that in this material. Ronnie sent me some absolutely fantastic material here. This is okay. So we are looking pretty good here. It's getting there. So we need to pick away at this edge a little bit more, and I'm gonna make a real good effort to try to stay in frame. It's easy to get out of frame though. I mean, it's a matter of just a couple of inches and you're out of frame. So it's real easy to get out of frame. Y'all already got to put up with me, my ADD, and bouncing around from one subject to another, start to say something, then that squirrel in my head goes running, and next thing you know, I'm talking about something different. And so y'all know, my wife was watching one of the videos. She goes, "That didn't happen the other day. That was a year ago." Or actually, it's my daughter. And just so y'all know, if I say something, if it happened the other day, that's any time from 5 minutes ago to 3 years ago. It covers a pretty wide span there. And I don't know if that's just a guy thing or what, but that's definitely a thing with me. And you know, it's factual. It was another day. So drives my wife and kids kind of nuts sometimes. Our oldest son, David, he's 34, yeah. And he can remember stuff that is just, he gets it from his mom. Dates, years, things happened, you know. I just can't remember that, or my brain don't want to commit things like that to memory or whatever, so everything's just the other day. This edge's got to come in there. Kind of like like that. Try not to shrink it too much, but I'm trying to clean some of this stuff up too. I think I'm gonna switch to a finer pressure flaker. A bit finer. Could probably use steel, but okay, there's my Allen wrenches. I don't like those to be just barely sticking out like that. So let's see if we can move it out some. These flakers, this is another one that the hole's drilled way down here. It's an inch from the top. Should be way up here somewhere, so you can get a hold of more of that nail. Those little nails ain't very big to begin with. Not as long as the bigger spike nails that are in the issue sticks and stuff like that. So you need all that grabbing power you can get. I don't know what I did with my flaker. Not my flaker, but my pad. I set it down here somewhere. It is. Okay. We're just trying to clean this edge up and thin it just a bit. That's all we're doing here. Running some flakes in there. And that's cleaning up some of that nastiness too. Of course, every pass we make is getting narrower, but I'm okay with that. I wasn't looking for something that's super wide. Now, we gotta take some flakes off. This side on this one. My hat keeps hitting the camera. I got a hat on to catch some of the sweat. It's probably 100 degrees out here. It definitely is underneath this cover. I got a fan going. I'm sure you guys can hear it. But there's no way to be out here without the fan going. It's just too hot. I mean, you could. Probably ain't going to kill you, but not very comfortable. Alright, so it looks like this little corner right here needs to that little shoulder had to come in just a little bit. I think we're looking pretty good now. So now it's a matter of going through and picking off all these deltas and notch it and call it good. Probably work on this base a little bit. Take a few flakes in there, thin it out. I'm hoping with a little bit of time I get used to where my hands got to be when I'm doing this, and so that I can stay in frame a little better. I still see the guys on there that I watch that I've been filming a long time that get out of frame, so not that that's an excuse for me getting out of frame, but something that I want to focus on trying to avoid. Pop a flake in there. Okay. So tip's got to move over just a smidge. It was a smidge too much. It's all right. We'll address that tip, but we're going to put some notches in here, and grab something to drink real quick, and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had to wet the whistle. Okay. So find my notcher here. Clean it up. It's probably not bad, but just to make sure it don't have no burrs on it. I noticed in that hornstone video, which I knew it was going to be that way, but really hard to see what I was doing against that black pad, so I need to figure out something for that. I need to take my time putting these notches in. What I really want to do is I really wanted to flint knap one of those blue pieces. That's one of my favorite colors in the Flint Ridge, is the blue. Well, the blue and the green, but not sure there's any green in there, but there is some blue. I wonder if I should try a different notching tool here. I want those to turn up like that if I can. That's the plan here, is for them to turn up. But I want it to turn up without breaking it. The idea. See if I can find one of these finer. Oh. This one's a little, I guess they're about the same, I guess. Two flakers the same. Let's file this a little bit. All right, let's try that. This one looks like it's trying to, probably need to go ahead and open that just a little bit. But it looks like it's trying to stall on me. I'm afraid to push too hard because it's a little bit crackly. Okay, we got a little pop out there. It wasn't enough. Don't think it was enough. Popped out a little bit. Popped my corner off is what it popped. That's exactly what it popped. Alright, probably should have stuck with my other tool instead of changing midstream. I need to get a hold of that somewhere. Get something to pop out of there. Doggone it, I broke it again. Son of a gun. Yep. Now, figure out how I'm going to save it. I'll tell you, I got to get a pop out. Try and get a hold of a piece of it somewhere. Doggone it. Well, here's what it is. Can't change it now. Okay, well, we got a pop out now, so. I'm gonna have to take this further up into the point than I intended. So, Doesn't quite look the way I wanted it to look, but just gonna have to suck it up. That little piece out of there. Well, now I broke that one off and it wrapped around. Good grief. I wasn't expecting to go this high up in it, so it's a little thick. End up blowing the whole thing up. Let's go back to the other notcher and see if we can get anywhere with it. There we go. Now we got a pop out going. How's that old saying go? You dance with the girl you brought? Should have stuck with that pressure flaker. Not exactly a dovetail, is it? Not really. Not what I had in my mind anyways. I hope I didn't just spend the last 5 minutes out of frame, but I might have. Stem's a little small. All right. So I don't know what's happening with my phone here. It keeps shutting off. By the time I notice it's shutting off, I see the message there and I ain't got time to read it before it goes away. I don't know if I'm running out of memory or I'm not sure what's happening here, if the phone's overheating or I'm not sure what's happening. I'm gonna have to piece all this together, but this is a tiny little stem on here. But it just kind of blew up on me, so it's going to be what it's going to be. Just going to try and clean it up a little bit. And I don't know if you can consider that to be a dovetail or not. There's so many variations of it that that's got a little tail on there. It's a lot of whack. Need to take a that side right there. So this is kind of cockeyed in there because this piece broke off right there. I kind of matched it up a little better. Still a cool little point. Only the second time I ever worked Flint Ridge, so not horribly disappointed. I really love every point though. Alright, so we're gonna try and better. So my notches went from just going and turning up to way opened up. Things happen. And as they happen, you just have to adapt, I guess. Or be good enough to not have those things happen. All it takes, you just nick one corner and all of a sudden now your plan's all changed. And you just switch into survival mode. Repair mode, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Salvage mode. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. They're going crazy, so someone's either here or could be someone out the road too. Push some flakes back this side. That side's jiggity jaggedy. Now those probably look bigger. Well, maybe they do. I keep saying that, and then when I look at it on the thing, you can't even see them on the TV, but I believe you can see them there, and they probably look bigger there than what they are. They're not really very big. Doesn't have big monster serrations or nothing. It just I just really like the look of that edge on the point. Okay. So I think we're gonna call it good. Well, my wrists are feeling it. I need to get my wrist braces back on. But yeah, that's the first piece of that Flint Ridge. It don't look terrible. This base is small, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I think it looks okay. I would have liked that to be larger. I mean, it started out, I mean, it was like this, and those are pretty thin notches going in there. And they were starting up, and then I knocked the corner off. But here we are, learning in public. But it's pretty nice. It's the B side for sure, probably, but not terrible. Alright, y'all hit that like and subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated if you do. And I got a lot more content coming. I got some pretty cool video ideas coming up that are sort of primitive skills, flint knapping related, I guess. There's gonna be a lot more leather stuff and bees and horses and just a whole mess of different stuff. But it's a pretty point. I'm happy with it. All right, y'all.